And Teddy, especially having been up there with you last week and seeing the relationship between the organization and the fans, and here he is, Drake May, kind of walking in those footsteps and doing it extraordinarily well.
I know this sounds, I mean, the winning was for so long with Tom there, it's almost become like a fraternity of guys that have won. And so try to explain that to Drake a little bit, but he's just so knowledgeable of what happened in the past and also separating it. Vrabel and Josh McDaniels do a great job of acknowledging it, but separating it, and he has his own legacy to start.
All right, we'll talk about them in a moment, but let's start it with Dan Graziano, who's covering the Patriots for us today in Denver. And Graz, look, May has fumbled 6 times in their 2 playoff games. What's he doing to avoid that today?
Greeny, yeah, a lot of the Patriots' focus this week in practice was on pass protection and ball security. Drake May said multiple times this week he knows he has to take care of the ball better. He said during practice he was focused on the internal clock, the internal timer that is in his head that reminds him when he's holding the ball too long. Left tackle Will Campbell said after last week's game that he's better than what he put out there on tape last Sunday, so he hopes to be better. And May and offensive coordinator Josh McDaniels spent the week drilling down on every possible aspect of their operation to see if there's 1 or 2 specific things that they could do better to help Drake May get rid of the ball. Maybe that would help. Other than that, the Patriots don't want to change anything. Greeny, they have an expression in New England they're using this year. Don't switch the mac and cheese. One of the players went home for Thanksgiving. Somebody messed with the mac and cheese recipe. Nobody liked it, so they brought it back. And this is their metaphor now for keep doing things the way you've been doing all year because it's been worth it. Don't switch the mac and cheese.
Words to live by from Dan Graziano. Well done. And if you're just joining us, Jason Kelsey's in our studio for the entirety of the day. And that's one of the really big factors here, right? You got Jared Stidham on one side, and now you got Drake May, who has been holding onto the ball, and now he's looking at this ferocious pass rush. You said to me yesterday, that's a dangerous combination.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, whenever you hold onto the ball for a long period of time and you got an offensive line that's asking to hold up against some great players, it's a bad recipe. And listen, they've played the Chargers and Texans to this point in the playoffs, who are 2 very good defenses, can get after the passer, and they paid the price for that, right? They've put the ball on the ground. Will Campbell, this offensive line has been under a lot of scrutiny. There's another game, and Benito forced, 2 fumbles last week? So Zach Allen, across the board, this Denver defense is loaded. So a little bit, get the ball out in time, maybe put another tight end in for protection, do something to try and make this a little bit easier.
I think you're going to see a heavy dose of run game, too, because I agree with you. This Denver defense has phenomenal team speed, right? Like across the board on all 3 levels, they really run sideline to sideline. But I think if there is a bit of a weakness, they struggle with this downhill run game, right? The Bills last week, big, heavy downhill run game, ran for 183 yards. The Patriots run game kind of has a similar identity. You're going to see these old school power, counter, duo runs. Ramondre Stevenson is a big, powerful back. Again, I think they're going to get downhill and I think try to slow down some of these fast edge rushers like Nick Benito, right? Make them stop the run.
Yeah, I think you're going to see extra linemen in the game. That's what I think you're going to see. You want to sit back, put those littler guys out there, those speed guys out there, 240-pound edge rushers.
Yep.
Fine. How do you like this 350-pounder smacking you downhill and get that run going? I think that's what's going to happen. You can't get a sack on a running play. And here's a crazy stat. Digging inside the numbers, of course, we got our amazing guys here that help me out here. And I'm thinking, this team, we saw Denver turn it over 5. They had 5 takeaways in that game, all right? 5 of them last week. Yeah. You realize they only had 14 all year? So as good as they rush the passer, they're not really guys that do that. And again, of course they're going to be, the antenna's going to go up, especially you're going against short arm Will Campbell at left tackle. But I'm just saying, look, this is it. But only 14 turnovers. They're at 7% of the time, all right? During drives, they force a turnover. A great defense you usually associate with turning the football over, stopping, They stop you. They just don't turn it over. So maybe you can breathe a little bit easier. And I'm going to say this. They play man coverage, Denver does, 61% of the time. That's the most in the National Football League. Drake May, all right, we know he's 8-0 on the road, but did you know he has the highest highest QBR against man coverage. 89. Okay? And to me, that you're almost doing him a favor. Go ahead. You want to play all that man? Fine. I'm confident as can be. I'm going to get the ball out.
Well, you're talking about the man coverage, Rex, and I'm looking at the other side, the flip side. I know we already had the Denver Broncos offensive discussion, but that's what we're looking for on the other side, the tight window throws that the Denver Broncos going to really need. And we talked earlier about Drake May, and you've been hearing throughout the show about turning the ball over, not turning the ball over. The reason why you cannot afford to turn the ball over because they have a hell of an offensive-minded coach that has a great scheme on the other side in Sean Payton. So if the ball is on the ground today, Denver Broncos gets on it. We all know it's not about touchdowns today, guys. Just score points. You got two great defenses on the field in the Patriots and the Broncos. But I think for me, we keep talking ball security. You can't keep talking about, oh, it will be covered. No, you got to go out and do it today, Drake.
Yeah, and I think Vrabel, the entire coaching staff, and also Drake has to realize, let's watch Jarrett Stidham. How much can he produce? How is he playing the game? Is he able to move the ball up and down the field? Because in terms of Drake, how much am I going to need to do? I think there's a magic number here, about 50 to 54 yards in terms of rushing for Drake May, in terms of turning those potential as soon as you feel them, because Drake loves to give it an extra tick so he can give his receivers down the field. Just instead of that, take off. Take off through those A and B gaps, get those 50 to 54 yards, and that's how you can win the football game, by just moving the chains.
I think you're dead on. Drake May, for a young quarterback, really is patient in the pocket. He really sits in there. I think keeps his eyes downfield.
Sometimes.
However, I think there's a negative to that, right? And we've seen it with these sack fumbles. He's been sacked 10 times in the postseason. He has 5 fumbles, right? Oh, and now you're going on the road versus the best sack defense in like 30 years, right? Again, I know Denver doesn't necessarily create a lot of fumbles this year, but
they see the
this
target.
guy has put the ball on the ground, right? And again, now you're going Nick Bonito on the road, crowd noise, your guy Rex Campbell on the edge. I mean, what does that look like today? They are going to have to throw it. They can't run it every single play. And again, I think if there's a unit that can wreck this game, it's Denver's D-line.
Hey, but what about like Will Campbell? This clearly is a talented guy, Jason, but a short-arm guy. We talk about that. He is on the struggle bus right now, especially these last 2 games.
Yes.
What can they do to help him?
Well, he's been playing some premier guys.
Yeah.
Khalil Mack, you got Daniil Hunter, Will Anderson. Like, he's been facing a gauntlet. He's going to get another one today. Short arms, usually, when you're out in space, you want that length. You want people to try and have to come run down you. You be able to touch them first. He's struggled a little bit with that speed to power. That starts leaning, then he starts getting edged. You know, he's a young player. I like his feet. I like the way he moves, but that is the weakness. Now, a guy like Bonito, who doesn't necessarily offer that power, I'll be interested to see how he plays today. He's got good feet. Can he keep that guy in front of him? And hopefully he plays.
And there's also Wilson. There's Wilson, the rookie left guard, and there's Zach Allen, too. I mean, that's another matchup, too. I mean, it's going to be huge.
Y'all talking about the edge rushers with Allen, Bonito, and Cooper. But let me get on the back end. We talked about earlier about